You are psychic, and my psychic solutions for the 2020s is to help you to develop your psychic superpowers. Hi, this is Adam, and my job is to help you to grow spiritually and to share with you the wonderful worlds of spirit. And I can't think anything more spiritual than developing your spiritual senses, which are your psychic senses or your clairs. And that's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to finish up by sharing a little known secret that you need to know to turn your psychic superpowers into supercharged abilities to connect with those on the other side and your guides and angels. So if you like what you're seeing, like and comment. That tells YouTube to share this with more people. And let's get right into this. The five senses: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling. Oh, but wait, there's 11 senses, not 5. Those are just the physical senses. I think in first grade we learned a little song about that, but I don't remember what it is. Today, however, we're going to Psychic Development Elementary School. And building the clairs is a really important aspect of psychic development. And psychic development is a really important aspect of mediumship training. That's why we call it psychic mediumship training, because it's through our psychic senses that we're able to get messages from the spirit world and from our guides and our angels. So obviously we have to develop our psychic senses to be able to do that. The good news is you are already psychic. We all are. So it's just a matter of training and development. So the first step of that is meditation and presence. And yes, I virtually say that in every single video that I do, because it really is so important that you develop this skill. So important that I have one video out already, and I'm going to have more. And you can check that out after this when I go into a fair amount of detail into the process of developing your ability to be present as well as your ability to meditate. But just for the sake of a short explanation, when your mind is cluttered with thought, you're going to have a really hard time getting information psychically and connecting to the spirit world. When you start to learn how to quiet your mind through meditation and presence, then the messages are going to get stronger and clearer for you. So that's the first step. And then the next step is really just developing those psychic senses, developing your clairs. You know, I actually identify 11 different senses. I have the physical senses that we explained a second ago. And then there's actually 6 other senses that I identify. So there's clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. There's clairaudience, which is clear hearing. There's clair olfactory, which is clear smelling. There's clairsentience, which is clear tasting. There's clair tactile, which is a word I just invented for clear feeling. Like, in other words, we can get psychic impressions through our body, through our aura or our energetic bodies. And the 11th sense is clairsentience, which is just basically knowing something without knowing how you know it. It's like if the phone rings and your mom calls, and you know it's your mom before you talk to her, but you didn't see her image in your mind's eye, or you didn't taste her, well, hopefully you didn't taste your mom, you didn't smell her perfume or hear her voice, but you just knew it was mom. That's an example of a clairsentient experience. So I'm going to talk about how to develop all the clairs in a very simple, easy to follow, easy to practice that I call Clairobics. We have physical senses to help us to navigate and understand our physical world. Our spirit senses, or psychic senses, are here to help us to understand and navigate the unseen world, the world of energy and spirit. So they're very similar, they're very connected, as above, so below. The key difference is that our physical senses are linear in nature, but our spiritual senses are not. And there's actually an ability called synesthesia, which is the ability to cross-sense. That is to be able to cross-sense without taking LSD or mushrooms, by the way, when you're sober. Some people actually have this, but for most of us, our physical senses are very linear. But the reason that synesthesia is important is that that's how Spirit uses our psychic senses to give us messages. It's through the blending of the different psychic senses how we get messages from the spirit world. This is actually the little secret I was going to share later on, and I'm going to show you how to incorporate that in your mediumship work to be able to talk to your own loved ones and your guides. But for right now, the clairs is simply, or Clairrobics as I call it, is simply a way of exercising your psychic senses. Just like if we want to run a marathon, we have to train. If you want to be super psychics, we have to develop our psychic skills and our psychic senses. So it's really, really simple. We'll start out with clairvoyance. And what you do is you just close your eyes and visualize a square, and then visualize a circle. And you can remember what it looks like if you're not terribly visual. In time, you're going to develop your clairvoyance, by doing these exercises. That's what they're for. Just start with that. That's the very simple. Then if you want to go to the next level, visualize the color blue around you, then visualize the color green, then the color orange. And then the next step up would be to visualize maybe a blue square or a green diamond. And then the next thing is to maybe visualize a church. And the next level up would maybe to visualize that church, but also to see train tracks in back of it, and then a train moving by. And then if you want to get to an even higher level of your Clairrobics, visualize a whole scene like the church with the train tracks and so forth. And then maybe visualize, expand your vision and see houses and get a panoramic view. So that's getting more and more advanced with that kind of training. You can do this with sounds, like maybe listen in your psychic ears for the sound of the ocean, or then maybe the sound of a choir. And then if you want to get a little bit fancier, you can listen for two sounds at the same time. Like, in other words, maybe you can hear the sound of the ocean and a choir singing in the background simultaneously. And then you can actually bring that to another level and maybe visualize you're at a baseball stadium and you can hear like the crack of the bat, and you can hear the crowd cheering, and not the fake crowds that you hear when you watch sporting events during COVID-19, but real crowds. And then you can apply that to smells, like smelling roses or smelling fruit, or tasting, and then feeling maybe the sounds, feeling the sensation of warmth and cool. And that's all it is. You just want to practice these, maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes a day. Practice all these senses, and the more you practice, the stronger they're going to get, and the clearer and the stronger the messages you're going to be able to get from spirit are going to be. And that is Clairrobics. Now, if you want to really apply this to an advanced level, when you get a sight, for example, if you're visualizing a blue square, also get a sound, like listen for that blue square, smell that blue square, feel that blue square in your body, taste that blue square, or maybe get the smell of a rose and then see the color of roses, or patterns or shapes. And I think you get the idea, and you can get more and more advanced with that. But again, the more you practice that, the stronger that it's going to get. That is what I have for you for today. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please comment and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, if you like what we're doing here. And if you hit the little bell, you'll get notified when I do unannounced events, and as well as when I release new videos. So thank you, and I'll see you at the next video.